When the Warriors made the move to get Jimmy Butler, it felt like a statement. This wasn't just a roster tweak, it was a last dance kind of move, a we're not done yet kind of move from a dynasty that's trying to squeeze one more. So I was so tuned in. Every game, every single game, I believed I wanted them to be great. And even before that, I love Jimmy, I love his style of play, I love his body of work. I love the kind of player he is, and the fit with the Warriors is just ideal. It's perfect. He's like another Draymond Green, in my opinion, sort of a defensive guy that plays the right way, and he also has that go-to mentality, that killer mentality that can push organization to great things. He's so smart, he's unselfish. He basically fits perfectly next to Steph Curry, and this is what made me so excited about this team. So the regular season started tough, but there were flashes of brilliance. Jimmy started to settle in, Steph was doing his thing. Even Kuminga, that last year had a lot of problems, he started to catch a rhythm. But they were inconsistent and the injuries were piling up. But they managed to get a playoff spot, which is the most important part. So they got to the playoffs and they got the Rockets. A younger team, but a hungry one. But there was that thing that keeps hurting them year after year. Even with the days of Steph, Clay, and Draymond without KD, and even after KD, is the lack of a big. Even in that first round series, Steven Adams basically crushed them and he got a good contract with the Rockets to show for his play. They managed to go through them, which was a very tough task to do. But then they got the Minnesota Timberwolves, and that's where the party ended. They almost got swept 4-1 to the Timberwolves with Steph getting injured, and basically the dream is over. But this time in the NBA, this is a very special period in the NBA. Why? Because there are no super teams. There is no LeBron, of course. You can say the only super team in the NBA is the Boston Celtics, but still, any team has a chance to go and win a chip. So it's wide open, and Golden State made the move to try and go and get another one, but they just couldn't hold on to health, and we're on to the next year. Basically, it's the same thing from last year that's going to the next year, except for Jonathan Kuminga. He's going to be a restricted free agent and Golden State can match any offer he has. And to be honest, if the money is right, they should. Kuminga isn't just a young player anymore. He's athletic, he can defend, he can do a lot of things, he can run the floor with Steph. You can see the upside. And he might be the only young player on this team that has star potential. Moody and Podziemski are very good, but they don't show the flashes that Kuminga does. And if they let him walk, well, I hope they have a very good plan, because they're not going to replace this kind of talent with veteran minimum players. The most important thing for the Golden State Warriors, which is true for every year, is keeping the core. The core used to be Steph, Clay, and Dre, but right now it changed. Now it's Steph, Dre, and Jimmy. Not in that order, but yeah. And they have all of them locked for the next 2 years. If they can stay healthy, they can make another run. But as I said before, what they lack again and again and again, besides being healthy like any kind of team, is a real big. Sorry, Trey Jackson-Davis, you're just not enough. Quinton Post is a very good young player. He's a stretch 5 who can really stretch the floor. He's a smart player, he can play in the system, but they really need someone who can really rebound with the best of them. Someone who can take space, someone who can bang down low. So what do I think? Well, it depends. If the price is right, match Kuminga and see what you can do next year, because they don't have a lot of money left. They are well into the luxury tax right now. Expand his role, don't have another year like last year where he doesn't get minutes, he plays, he doesn't play, and he's frustrated. Don't do that. Don't invest money in him and have that kind of experience all over again. That doesn't make any sense. We want him to develop, do his thing, be himself, and take off the load from the core. Steph is 37. Dre and Butler, they are both 35. They need someone with fresh legs that can take the offensive burden off them, some of it. So how do we fix the big issue? Well, let's see who's available. Notable free agents this offseason are that the Golden State Warriors should pursue. You got Clint Capella, a big body, he can rebound, he can protect the rim. He has a solid resume of doing that throughout the years on a high level. His production went down this last year, he's already 30 years old. That means they might snag him on a good deal. Even a guy like Brook Lopez, who said he might be looking for something else than Milwaukee next year. He's not a great rebounder like Capella, but he's still 7 feet. He's a big body. He can stretch the floor like they love to play, and he can absolutely protect the rim with the best of them. So it's either Capella or Lopez, both can be a great fit, and they might be able to get them on very good deals. So again, the luxury tax, not room for anything flashy and no real flexibility, but they might be able to add some solid pieces to address the problems they have. So the best tool they have is a mid-level exception, which is about 5 to 6 million. Is that enough to get Capella or Lopez? Maybe, we'll see. If the desire is strong enough to play with the Warriors, with Steph Curry, with Butler, and even Draymond, if there's someone who wants that, then it might work. I really do believe they have more in them. I believe Steph can still play on a high level, even until he's in his 40s. One more chance to do some noise. They even got that last championship when nobody thought they could, but it only happens if they make the right moves. They can't afford to get killed like that on the boards again. It just makes the game so much harder. Imagine having to play defense for the whole shot clock just to have another player get the board and having to reset and play defense all over again. And they do need to trust their young players. So what do you guys think? Should they match Kuminga? Who's the right big to go after? Do the Warriors have one more title left in them, or are they done? Was Jimmy a good move? What about Draymond? Let me know, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.